Hello everyone and welcome to our latest Whirlwind Heights Forecast Center updates. And in today's forecast, I'm going to discuss severe weather coming to the Midwest, Northeast, and Ohio Valley, as well as the Mid-Atlantic. We're also going to talk about what you can expect from the flooding, and we're also going to talk about the tropics, and we're going to talk about Hurricane Alita. So this is going to be an action-packed, crazy forecast. So without much more to talk about in this intro, let's roll the forecast. Alright guys, and I'm going to start off with obviously our SVC outlook, almost as how every single out of our forecast starts. We're starting off with today, which is an enhanced risk of severe weather for like Ontario, Canada, the southern part of that. So Toronto, Buffalo, New York, and for generally the parts of the Mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, and Northeast. Our tornado risk, we have a 5%, and there is a CIG1 here on the coast for New Jersey. So if you live in this, and also Philadelphia will be in that. So if you live in this area, a small-scale tornado outbreak could happen today. And if there isn't much smoke in the atmosphere here in the afternoon, I do think that this link I have right now at the bottom of my screen will probably need to go live, because this could be a relatively significant severe weather event. But our damaging wind risk is super concerning. We got a 45% wind risk for northern Ohio, and parts of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. So there's a 45% wind risk, very, very extreme. It's what's driving our enhanced risk, and then 5% hail risk. Our hail risk is the least concerning part of today's environment, and there is a little marginal threat of severe weather here for Montana and Idaho. And let's go to our day 2 outlook, which is a slight risk of severe weather for North Dakota, another one for North Carolina, with a tornado risk being non-existent. We have both of these are being driven by damaging winds, with 15% wind risk for North Dakota, 15% for North Carolina. And then our hail risk only exists up here in this risk area, in this marginal threat right here. And in our day 3 outlook is another slight risk of severe weather, and it doesn't show anything significant as of right now. So no CIG, no hashing. You understand where I'm going with this. Our day 4, we do have an Ohio Valley. Ohio Valley will be in the slight risk of severe weather for a day 4 outlook, where we can see some possibly a small-scale tornado outbreak. So yeah, get ready. And then our day 5 outlook is for the Mid-Atlantic. North Carolina is included in that as well. So generally, if you live in the Mid-Atlantic, get ready, because we do have a significant severe weather event on the way. And then no more outlooks are out after that. But the weather is actually getting a lot more active. Alright, and I'm going to now go to excessive rainfall. We do have a slight risk of excessive rainfall here for southwestern Texas, southwestern New Mexico, a lot of Arizona, central Arizona, southern Utah, and southwestern Colorado. And then we do have a slight risk also up here in the Northeast. Our day 2, same for if you live here in the Northwest, and another slight risk in the marginal threat right here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. And then eastern Arizona is in that day 3, and day 4, day 5 outlook. I mean, this is pretty early. Day 4 slight risk, so pretty early for a slight risk. Now let's go to Tropical Storm Alita, which is no longer showing signs of becoming a hurricane. I'm not sure if it's become a hurricane. I'm going to just fact check that after this forecast, but I'm pretty sure that this never became a hurricane, which, when it was originally expected to become a Category 2, I'm not sure exactly what caused it to. I'm pretty sure because it's shifting north so fast, that's why it's underperformed so crazy. But what I am gonna do here in models, because there is actually a 90% chance of development in the next 48 hours, a 90% chance of development in the next week. So chances are we're gonna see something develop out of this area, out of this risk. And I'm gonna go to the GFS here, because they were showing 2 tropical storms going through the same areas, and now that's being verified to be true. And honestly, this new tropical disturbance could be stronger, because the other tropical disturbance never became super strong. Like, it never became a hurricane. And we're gonna wait for this to load here. Yeah, right here you can see that this hurricane is looking to be a lot stronger than our previous one, because it's gonna technically go down south of where our tropical storm is at right now. And I mean, this is just gonna be, and here's what the GFS model shows. Okay, so there's a tropical storm, obviously, that went through this area, and there's obviously another one that goes through this area. And the GFS model, what it shows is a 3rd hurricane going through the same area, and a 4th hurricane going through the same dang area. Is this true? I don't know. Again, this is pretty far out, but like, honestly, that'd be wild. Even though technically there is a chance of 3 tropical disturbances going through the same areas long term, because there is a 30% chance of development over here in the next 7 days and next week. What is going on out on the west coast of Mexico? What? But yeah, essentially what this is showing is that 4 tropical storms moving through the same areas, which I don't know about personally. I don't know if this is true, but if this were to actually be the case, this would be wild. I honestly don't think this is going to happen, but we're going to keep our eyes on this, because I mean, this area, it has been so active this year. This little region here has been so active. Alright, and now I'm going to go to our jet stream here in the United States. Obviously, we have a ridge and a mini trough right here. Mini low pressure system that's just been sitting here for days, which is why there's been so much flooding here in Texas. As you can see, the jet stream, now obviously there's been a bridge, which is why the weather has been so inactive lately. Well, that is about to go, because we're about to see a massive surge. We're about to see a big surge of severe weather here in the Northeast. As you can see here in this area, things are about to get extremely active. And the GFS model shows this continuing, this flow, and possibly it'll possibly get even worse here for the Ohio Valley, where, I mean, we could see possibly small-scale tornado outbreaks. And this weather pattern seems like it's going nowhere. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Alright, well now, let's go to the HRRR model, because I'm going to show you guys the temperatures across the United States there. Or not the HRRR, the NAM. Sorry about that. So as this looks here, you're going to see, I mean, it is relatively hot across the United States. But I mean, things are going to cool down in the Ohio Valley with that jet stream coming in. As you can see, there's going to be a cold surge going into the Ohio Valley. But here in Oklahoma, things are going to get very extreme, where we could see temperatures possibly up to 115 degrees. I mean, this is showing 113, but like, dang, this thing's going to get close to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So we got a massive heat wave, guys. I'm sorry, I never noticed this. Like, we got a massive heat wave that's coming to Oklahoma and generally the Great Plains. So guys, you got to get ready. It is going to be hot out of here. You're going to have to limit your time outside if you have respiratory issues. And I will go real quick over our fire risk. I don't see much, but there is a slight fire risk here in the northwestern part of the United States, Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington and Oregon, and then southeastern Wyoming. And then the wildfire outlooks, it's non-existent tomorrow. But yeah, that'll be it for today's forecast. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to spread the gospel throughout the public today.